Empire Online Battle. I'm playing as the British, as you can see by my light dragoons running up my right flank. I'm playing against Hitman. Now I don't think I think he said he hadn't played that much, so be nice in your comments towards his playstyle. And I'm going to try and give him a few pointers in this video as to what he could have done to improve. Right, so I'm using, this is actually before the downloadable content came out, so that's why there's none of the new DLC units in here. I've got 6 units of line infantry, 2 units of Rogers Rangers on my left. In front I've got 4 units of green jackets, and over here I'm employing my tactic that I've been using recently, which is to, well actually it didn't work that well over here, because I should have had my horse guards further back over here. But basically I create one flank with the light dragoons over here, and use my horse guards as a buffer over here, and then flank round with my light dragoons here. Now he's playing as the USA obviously, and he has 6 units of long riflemen against my green jacket, so I'm beaten on that front. And then he has what we got here, 6 units of line infantry, and at the back a general's bodyguard unit. Now he's moving them all over onto the left flank here, and I'm moving my Rogers Rangers here to fire on this flank here. Meanwhile I've left my line infantry over here, and at the moment not much. He's doing pretty well. He's using his obviously his light long rangers to screen his infantry, and he's bringing over obviously his line infantry here to fire against my Rogers Rangers, which are, even though they have longer range, they'll get beaten by line infantry if he can get them in line. He obviously wants to spread them out a little bit into a 3 rank so he can use fire by rank. However, as you can see over here, I've won basically the Battle of the Cavalry. Which is my horse guards against his household cavalry, and they're all beaten now. And obviously the dragoons now have flanked round, taken out the rest of the units. So basically I would have said his lack of light cav, the reason why he didn't field any more light cavalry units is, I'm guessing, is because he upgraded all of these long riflemen with at least 2 or 3 units of veterancy, which spends a lot of money. Personally I wouldn't recommend upgrading them massively. Maybe if you shove a bit of 1 or 2 veterancy points on to a few units, but not all of like your front rank, especially now, because if you see I've got my horse guards coming in here. Now what I would have suggested he have done is that while this is going on, he maybe prepares a flank defense over here by pulling these long riflemen to about the angle that line infantry is now, and then putting up stakes. He's obviously pulling across his line infantry here to try and take out my dragoons. However, they've got a longer firing range, and once they get themselves sorted out, they can unleash quite a deadly volley. However, he is right to pull his line infantry over here, because once my light dragoons fire, if I was to charge them in, I would most certainly lose. One, because they can form square, and also because light dragoons suck at melee. Well, my guy's not firing. Ah, so here they go. So horses tilt to one side, the guys aim, and they should have fired. Don't know what's happening there, but these guys fired over here and took out a few of the enemy units there. Meanwhile, I've charged in here. The light dragoons obviously covering the infantry here, which is tucked in round to try and get to the unit rather than forming square and allowing my cavalry to fall into that trap. I've now chased off the rest of his units here. As you can see, he has routed most of my green jackets because he obviously had better accuracy due to the improved veterancy. I have now, though, countered his line infantry by moving up my own here, and I pulled my Rogers Rangers round to the side here, which are reloading and firing into the flanks on the side and the rear. Now my guys are also firing by rank here, and they are outnumbered at the moment, but I'm bringing up another unit here. This unit's probably going to go because it's not going to hold. It's got 2 against it, but I'm bringing this one up here to counter them. I've left 3 units here, and I'm now going to charge them through. Even though they're going to get blitzed by these guys, I've got cavalry support up here. Although he has managed to rout the rest of mine by, I think they were formed into square actually, and these guys here, they fought in melee. So I'm pulling these guys up here because a few volleys from these line infantry, if they can stay sort of unaffected by low morale, then they will totally destroy those units. You can see now the effects. I've crushed his whole left flank here. Really, for that, I wouldn't have pulled the line infantry as far over here. I would have been watching the Roger Rangers. As I said, because he spent the money on veterancy here, he didn't have any money for spare light cavalry to chase down my units, because he could have then, as I did over here, won the cavalry battle. And as you can see now, I'm mopping up the rest of his units with my dragoons and what's left of my cavalry. Obviously the dragoons are routing now because they've gone head to head with line infantry, but they've done pretty well. And they've gained some veterans over here. But now they are free to harass the remaining units. He has tried here to flank me, which is good because he's taken out one of my line infantry units here. However, the sheer power of fire by rank is annihilating what's left of his long riflemen. Same thing's happening here, and I've moved this other unit up. The Rogers Rangers are moving up to fire at the remaining units up there. And I'm pulling what's left of my green jackets across here to help. As you can see, if you want to see where where the units are going, hold down the space bar on your keyboard and you'll see where all units are moving to currently. Again, I move this unit around here to flank. Basically, once you've started to break an enemy like this, little flanking manoeuvres like this. Obviously, I've collapsed his left flank first, so I'm pushing in on that, and the right flank I was using my dragoons to do. And now I decided to charge in with my light dragoons. Obviously, they aren't good at melee, but they still are good sort of shock troops, as well as if they manage to get a few rounds off first. So I'm not actually charging them in. I am now though, and we can watch that charge. So they go in straight away, sabres, and smash down. And they are actually, the force of the impact has demoralised the unit, so that's there. And these guys just run straight through the long riflemen. Now, personally, if you're facing that situation, I would have kept my line infantry behind so that they could have formed square to help protect from a flanking manoeuvre like this. Obviously, he had the advantage to take out my my green jacket, so I would have maybe done a falling retreat with the long riflemen, slowly picking away at my units, especially taking out these Rogers Rangers, which have done the flanking damage over here, and then picking off my line infantry. The cavalry can be dealt with a few units of pulling a few of these long rifleman units across to the side, and the rest of the cavalry with a few line infantry was in square, or even this long rifle group with some stakes carefully placed. But he played well. I mean, his original tactic moving over to the flank here, I know the battle's ended, but I'll keep talking for a bit. I know his original flanking manoeuvre over here to counter my Rogers Rangers was pretty good. I would have probably pushed up and pushed on the offensive a bit more to try and take my Rogers Rangers out sooner. But all in all, not a bad game. Well played to him. Tips for the future then would be to try and don't put as much veterancy on your long riflemen. I mean, if you want to, put one or two put a stripe on each one if you want to, but the spare money should at least allow you to have 2 units of dragoons. The household cavalry, I would say, is a must. I normally have 3 units of heavy cav at least, and then the rest another 3 units of light cavalry. But not a bad game. I mean, he did sustain plenty of loss on me, and that was obviously his high veterancy long rifleman. Obviously, if you Hitman, if you do want to sort of have higher veterancy units, and there's nothing wrong with them, but it's just a harder strategy to pull off. And if you do want to line them up sort of where my mouse is here in like a long line, like as you did, try a falling retreat. So have 3 in front and 2 behind. The 3 in front fire, you tell them to retreat, the enemy pushes up, the others fire, or whatever like that, and you can put them into light infantry doctrine mode, and then they will obviously make the most of that, so they won't fire into the backs of each other. But as I said, good game. Hope you enjoyed this battle. Hope Hitman, this is like showing you a little, giving you a few useful tips and stuff. Please comment, rate, and subscribe.